There are souls among us who carry a silent mission. They came to resonate behind the scenes of the collective consciousness. They are transmitters of an ancestral frequency. They are spiritual healers. Many of them don't truly know who they are. They confuse their high sensitivity with weakness, their tiredness with depression, their solitude with not fitting in. But they are simply answering a call that comes from a much higher place. The call of the soul. Dolores Cannon, one of the greatest hypnotherapists of the century, revealed in her deep regressions that many beings incarnated today belong to what is called the third wave of volunteers. They came with the mission of raising the planet's vibration, healing not only through actions, but through their energetic frequency. Have you ever felt like you carry a pain that isn't yours? That people come to you just to share their problems? That crowds drain you, but silence restores you? If you've ever experienced this, then this video is for you. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video if it resonates with you. Stay with us until the end, because we'll reveal the signs that show you are a spiritual healer, how to recognize them, what it means, and how to start consciously activating this hidden gift. There is an emotional exhaustion that doesn't come from a busy day, but from a lifetime of feeling too much. People like this are often called fragile, dramatic, intense. But they're not. They are spiritual healers who haven't yet recognized their true nature. Many spend years trying to adjust, trying to fit into emotional patterns that were never meant for them. They can feel the energy of a place before walking in. They know when someone is lying, even without proof. They absorb other people's pain as if it were their own. And yet, they feel strange, out of place, as if they're living in a reality that doesn't match their essence. This is a silent pain, the pain of someone born with an energy field too sensitive for a world that still insists on numbing emotions. This kind of person almost always goes through intense emotional crises before understanding their mission. Dolores Cannon observed this over decades of regression sessions. In her sessions, she identified a pattern. Incarnated healers often go through years of confusion, unexplained illnesses, anxiety, and even feelings of not belonging before awakening. These symptoms are signs of a spiritual sensitivity that needs to be understood and aligned. They are inner codes that only start to make sense when you realize you're not here to live like everyone else, but to heal, and by doing that, to transform. Dolores Cannon dedicated over 40 years to investigating the human soul through regression hypnosis. What she found was not just memories of past lives, but the echo of a mission that crosses dimensions. According to her research, thousands of souls currently incarnated belong to what she called the third wave of volunteers. These souls did not come to learn. They came to help. The first wave came to pave the way, the second to hold the vibration, and the third, where many of today's spiritual healers are found, arrived already tuned to frequencies of healing and elevation. They are highly sensitive souls, often young or with a timeless energy, who carry within them a kind of spiritual software for healing and transformation. These people don't need to perform big rituals. Often, they heal just by being present. Their energetic frequency acts like a field of resonance, triggering subtle yet powerful changes in those around them. But Dolores Cannon was clear. These souls forget who they are when they incarnate. And without this recognition, many collapse. They develop anxiety, feel lost, overwhelmed. They are here to help the planet go through a transition of consciousness. And their greatest tool is the healing frequency they carry. But like any spiritual technology, it needs to be consciously activated. If you identify with this description, you might be starting to remember. Recognizing yourself as a spiritual healer happens from within, when certain patterns begin to repeat and you realize that the way you feel the world is not common. The first sign is usually energetic sensitivity. You walk into a room and feel in your body what hasn't yet been said. Before someone speaks, your intuition has already sensed pain, tension, or imbalance. This is vibrational perception. Another frequent sign is emotional magnetism. People are drawn to you and open up for no clear reason. They talk about their traumas, pain, and intimate stories as if something in your presence gives them permission to do so. And it's not just charisma, it's frequency. You transmit trust because you unconsciously carry a healing energy. This vibrational field also attracts emotionally wounded people. Sometimes these interactions are draining because you don't understand why you always attract those in crisis. But the truth is that your presence acts like a bomb, even if you don't yet know how to use this consciously. Along with that, strange symptoms may appear. Body aches, sudden fatigue, sadness without a clear reason, emotional overload. Many spiritual healers absorb vibrational energies from their surroundings or from people nearby. This happens automatically and can be mistaken for physical or emotional imbalance. It's not. It's your healing field working without direction. You may also notice that after a conversation, the other person feels lighter, more centered, and you feel more drained. This energy exchange is subtle but frequent. Your energy clears, organizes, and reconnects. And that is a gift. Almost all spiritual healers share a kind of spiritual restlessness that follows them from an early age. A natural interest in topics like spirituality, healing, past lives, energy, and the meaning of life. And at some point, they go through a deep crisis. A breakup, an emotional collapse, a dark night of the soul. That seems to destroy everything but is actually preparing the ground for the mission to be born. These signs are not coincidences. They are inner callings. Most spiritual healers don't recognize their gift because it doesn't show up as a spectacular power, but as a deep sensitivity, often mistaken for weakness. There is a specific frequency that lies dormant within these people, a healing energy that is activated not through force, but through presence, through listening, through the silent intention to hold space. This is the paradox. The true healer doesn't see themselves as one. They feel there's something different about them, but they can't name it. They feel an urge to help, to ease, to protect, but often don't know how to channel that without becoming overwhelmed. That's why many live in inner conflict, swinging between guilt for not doing enough and exhaustion from absorbing too much. Dolores Cannon was clear in her findings. Spiritual healers are experienced souls, but when they incarnate, they go through a veil of forgetfulness. This is part of the process. The gift can't be accessed through ego. It must be rediscovered through awareness. And that awareness only awakens when the healer allows themselves to look inward with honesty. What's hidden here is not only the gift, but also the spiritual self who owns that gift. The part of you that already knows how to heal, how to channel, how to transform, but was silenced by the demands of the world. When that self awakens, the healing field begins to reorganize. You begin to understand that your sensitivity is, in fact, your greatest spiritual tool. Healing energy is not something you use. It's something you become when you align with your soul's mission. And the more you recognize this, the less you get lost in other people's overload. Awakening that spiritual self is a process of remembering, accepting, and embodying who you have always been. Not to serve the ego, but to fulfill a calling that began long before this life. What once felt like a vague intuition, a recurring discomfort, or a casual interest in spirituality becomes a calling that can no longer be ignored. That's when synchronicities intensify, cycles are forcefully closed, and everything familiar starts to lose meaning. This pressure is called alignment. When the soul senses that its mission is being delayed or forgotten, it activates internal and external mechanisms to trigger awakening. This can appear as an existential crisis, an emotional breakup, a significant loss, or even a physical collapse. From the outside, it looks like destruction. On the inside, it is your higher consciousness trying to break the autopilot and bring forth what has been suppressed. The mission of a healer is not optional. It is encoded in the energy field from birth, but its activation depends on inner listening. Many spend years ignoring this call out of fear, exhaustion, or insecurity. But there comes a moment when running is no longer possible. The discomfort of living disconnected from one's truth becomes unbearable. When that happens, healing doesn't begin with others. It starts within. The healer must first heal themselves. They must clear old memories, release false identities, and allow the original frequency of their soul to take the lead again. If you're feeling like everything is changing too fast, that old certainties are falling apart, and the outer world feels like it's pressuring you, stop resisting. This is the call. It's life reminding you that your soul has a purpose, and it's ready to be activated. Healing doesn't begin on the outside. It begins when you decide to step out of survival mode and take back energetic control of your life. And yes, there are simple yet highly powerful practices that reactivate your healing frequency. First, clean your energy as you would brush your teeth. Every day, salt water on your feet at night, a pinch of rosemary in warm bath water, 7 minutes in complete silence, with your hand on your heart and your focus on the center of your chest. This isn't just symbolic, it's physiological and vibrational. Second, use conscious touch. Before bed, place one hand on the center of your chest and the other on your belly button. Breathe deeply for 3 minutes. This simple act realigns two key energy centers, the heart and the center of personal power. You begin to restore the flow between feeling and action, one of the most common blocks in healers. Third, speak the truth of your energy field. Out loud, with energetic authority, say daily, I now activate my original healing frequency. My energy belongs to me. I am a channel of alignment and liberation. Affirmations are vibrational commands. The energy field responds to what you say with intention. Fourth, protect your presence without closing your heart. A quick technique. Before leaving home, imagine a golden sphere surrounding your body. At the top of your head, visualize a soft opening that connects you to above. This allows your energy to radiate outward while preventing constant draining. Fifth, accept your sensitivity as a radar, not a curse. Whenever you feel energetically affected, instead of shutting down or running away, ask yourself, what does this energy want me to transform within myself right now? What hurts on the outside is almost always resonating on the inside. You don't need to be a therapist or a mystic. You only need to claim the frequency that has always been yours. When you align, everything around you begins to respond. If something inside you resonated during this video, it wasn't a coincidence. It was recognition. The body feels before the mind understands. And if you've made it this far, it means your energy is already in the process of reactivation. Being a spiritual healer is not a title. It's a silent responsibility. And most of it is about remembering. Remembering that your sensitivity is not too much. That your solitude is not a flaw, it's preparation. That your discomfort with the world is not a sign you don't belong. It's a sign of your mission. Dolores Cannon said the healers of the new era didn't come to save anyone. They came to hold a frequency, and that begins with the daily choice to be present, clear, awake, even when everything around you feels chaotic. The world doesn't need more experts. It needs conscious beings vibrating in alignment with who they truly are. And if you're feeling this now, it's your energy responding. Your field is remembering what it has always known. Breathe. Be still for a moment. Acknowledge the vibration pulsing in you right now. This is the beginning of healing. If this content touched you, share in the comments. Which of these signs have you already felt? Subscribe, like the video, and turn on the reminder. More content like this is on the way for those ready to remember. You are not alone. You never were. The mission has already begun.